Guys, alam nyo ba na yung Little Red Riding Hood na kinuwento sa atin nung bata tayo, hindi pala talaga siya pang bagets. As in, mas dark, mas wild at mas juicy kaysa sa naalala natin. Bakit? Kasi may hidden meanings, may real life warnings at may mga versions na legit siyang pang horror movie. So in this episode, pag-uusapan natin ang totoong kwento sa likod ni Little Red Riding Hood. Let's go. Okay, let's start sa unang printed version from Charles Perrault noong 1697. Siya rin guys yung gumawa ng Sleeping Beauty at Cinderella. So yes, siya yung lodi ng classic fairy tales. Pero ang twist, sa version niya, walang hunter, walang rescue, and walang happy ending. Kinain si grandma, kinain din sa Red. Period. Si Perrault guys ang unang nagbigay ng printed version na may red hood. Kaya sa kanya talaga nagsimula yung iconic look na kilala natin ngayon. Kahit yung mas lumang oral versions dati ay wala pang hood. And may moralization pa sa dulo. So basically sinasabi na girls, wag kayong kumausap ng strangers. Especially men who seem charming kasi baka wolf sila. Girl, 1697 pa lang may stranger danger na. Next major version, sina Jacob and Wilhelm Grimm. Itong edition nila guys, ang pinaka naging standard kasi mas child-friendly sila. Well, compared kay Perrault ha. Sa early version nila, kinain pa rin si Red and Lola. Pero nung nag-revise na sila para sa mga bagets sa 1857 edition nila, nilagay na nila yung huntsman. So he cuts the wolf open, nilabas si Red and Lola and boom, yun, family reunion. Pero kung babasahin natin yung text, hindi siya cute guys. Meron siyang gore. Kasi the huntsman literally slices the wolf's stomach open. Oo, pang bata daw to. Pero ito yung mas mind-blowing guys. Before ng printed versions ni Perrault and the Grimm brothers, may mas lumang French oral variants na tinatawag ng scholars ngayon na The Story of Grandmother. So these oral versions were circulating long before na ilabas ang mga published editions. So ito yung tunay na OG. And trust me, ito yung pinaka-unhinged na version. So ito yung highlights ng original oral version. So una, walang red hood. Pangalawa, mas tuso si Red dito. Hindi siya clueless. Pangatlo, the wolf tricks her into giving direction sa balor ni Lola. Pang-apat, pagdating ni Red sa balor ni Lola, nakain na ni Wolf si Lola. And then, he pretends to be the grandmother. So classic. Pero ito yung plot twist na hindi alam ng karamihan. In some of these older oral variants, pinakain pa ng Wolf si Red ng parts or flesh ni Lola. Yes guys, may cannibalism motif sa ilang oral tellings. Kahit wala ito sa printed versions na Perrault at Grimm. Yes girls, akala nyo spaghetti? No, Lolasanya. At nung na-realize ni Red, syempre tumakas siya, umarte na kunwari she needs to pee. So yes, sinave niya yung sarili niya. Walang hunter rescue eme. So this version was meant for adults. Hindi talaga siya pang bagets guys. And it shows how brutal and raw oral storytelling used to be. Okay, hindi lang Europeans ang may version nito guys. Sa Italy, meron silang La Finta Nonna or the false grandmother. Medyo same wolf trickery siya pero minsan mas clever si Red at naka-escape siya. Sa Africa and Asia naman, meron ding variants. Minsan tiger, minsan leopard, or minsan ogres. Ang tawag ng folklorists dito ay analogs, meaning kamukha pero ibang culture ang nag-adapt. Ang haba na guys ng journey ng story na to bago pa dumating si Perrault. Now, ito yung medyo nerdy guys, pero super interesting part. So, in 2013, isang researcher named Dr. Jamie Terani used phylogenetic analysis sa tail. Yes guys, yung method na yung ginagamit sa pag-track ng evolution ng species, pero ginawa niya sa fairy tales. Ang cool, diba? Ang simplified explanation nito guys ay para siyang family tree. So, kinompare niya yung 50 plus versions across cultures, checking patterns para malaman alin ang mas luma at paano nag-evolve. So, ano ang result? Una guys, hindi original yung version ni Perrault. May oral ancestors talaga. Pangalawa, may iba't ibang branches ng tale worldwide like European wolf stories, Asian tiger grandmother stories, and Mediterranean variants. And yung story guys, nag-evolve siya like a biological species. Nag-a-adapt siya sa kultura. So now, pasok sa eksena yung mga academic na nag-argue sa symbolism. Si Bruno Bettelheim at si Jack Zipes. Same story pero magkaibang POV. Parang dalawang marites na magkaibang ang interpretation ng same chismis. So si Bettelheim, very psychoanalytic ang peg niya. Puro subconscious, sexuality, maturation. So sabi ni Bettelheim, yung red hood daw symbolizes puberty or sexual awakening. As in parang metaphor siya for yung unang period, kaya red. Yung wolf naman daw is equals to male sexual predator figure. Hindi lang siya literal na wolf. Symbol siya ng mga dangerous men who lure young girls. So the whole journey sa forest naman is equals to the transition from childhood to sexual maturity. Sa madaling salita, coming of age, anxiety dressed as a fairy tale. So si Bettelheim guys, yung may mas psychological take, lahat ng themes about innocence to temptation to danger to maturity, kay Bettelheim yan. Si Zipes naman, hindi siya psychoanalysis. Siya yung cultural historian na nagde-debunk ng fairy tales bilang tools ng society to control behavior. So sabi ni Zipes, the tale daw evolved to teach girls obedience. Basically, conditioning them to stay on path, be good, be quiet, and wag makipag-usap sa strangers. So the wolf represents social dangers and patriarchal power. Hindi lang siya sexual threat. Ang sabi niya rin, the red hood became ideological, a symbol na ginamit ng editors like si Perrault and Grimm to push lessons. And every retelling is political daw, kaya kada edit may binababang message about gender roles, manners, obedience, and how society wants young girls to behave. So para sa kanya, the story is less about puberty and more about social control and cultural expectations. So si Bettelheim is equals to psychology and sexuality. Si Zipes naman is equals to society, gender politics, and power. Ngayon, fast forward tayo sa modern era. Akala nyo tapos na yung drama ni Little Red Riding Hood? No. Ginagamit pa rin siya guys hanggang ngayon, pero mas real world na ang context. So, habang dinatranslate yung story sa iba't ibang bansa, napapansin ng mga researchers na iba-iba ang takeaway depende sa culture. May versions na mas pinapastrong si Red, meron namang versions na sobrang tame para pang bagets talaga. So basically, story changes depending on sino ang audience. Pangalawa, ginagamit nila si Red Riding Hood para pag-usapan yung consent, personal boundaries, paano umiwas sa predatory behavior, at pati yung online grooming. Yes guys, yung mga dangerous adults na nagdi-DM sa minors. Parang updated version siya ng don't talk to strangers. Pero now, it's don't trust random messages sa internet. Pangatlo guys, may mga scholars din na nagmamapping ng iba't ibang versions worldwide. So, ano ang conclusion? Ang dami pang raw, local, oral versions na buhay pa hanggang ngayon. Meaning, hindi pa extinct si Little Red Riding Hood. Constantly siya nagmomorph depending sa community. So, what's the moralization for today's story? Ako guys, ang takeaway ko dito, si Little Red Riding Hood isn't just about wolves, no? Kasi it's about the people who pretend they're safe when they're not. Kasi in today's world, hindi na laging nasa forest ang danger. Minsan nasa DM, minsan nasa comment section, minsan nasa friendly stranger na masyadong mabait, at minsan nasa tao na kilala mo pero hindi mo pa talaga kilala. So, I think the real lesson is listen to your instincts, set boundaries, don't overshare with strangers, and don't ignore red flags just because they're physically attractive or mabulaklak magsalita, diba? And sa panahon ng catfishing, like fake personas at kung ano-anong online predators, the wolf doesn't always look like a wolf. Madalas naka-filter, good lighting, at may magandang bio. And the story also reminds us na you're allowed to protect yourself kahit sinasabi nilang paranoid ka. Kasi being cautious isn't being overreacting, it's being aware. And lastly, don't walk alone through life thinking na you won't be targeted just because you're nice. Huwag magpakampante. Kahit si Little Red Riding Hood nga, 'di ba? Sweet, polite, mabait, pero naging target siya. So yes, be kind, pero be smart. Be friendly, pero be vigilant. And remember na not everyone who smiles is safe. Sometimes, the scariest wolves are the ones who know how to sound harmless. So ayun guys, after hearing all the wild versions of Little Red Riding Hood, curious ako. If ikaw si Little Red Riding Hood today, ano yung wolf sa tingin mo na pinakakailangan iwasan ng mga tao ngayon? Is it strangers online, fake friends, manipulative relationships, Or maybe the red flags we ignore kasi hindi naman aggressively scary at first. I wanna know guys kasi iba-iba talagang wolves sa buhay ng bawat tao. Let me know your thoughts in the comments ha, and if may iba ka pang story suggestions, crime, mystery, or kahit historical scandal, comment mo or DM mo lang sa akin, malay mo yan ang next Dark Chika natin. Real stories, twisted endings, Dark Chika. This is Sa Likod ng Kwento with me, Apple Season, and as always, don't forget to like, follow, share, and save, and I hope to see you in the next one. Stay safe, stay curious. Bye!